And it's all the bits done. Awesome. Here we go. So, find yourself nice space on your mat. Just start circling your shoulders. And everyone finds their space. There we go. Just get all those crunches and creaks out of those shoulders. Nice big circles with the shoulders. There we go. And as always, we're just trying to loosen up through the arms first. So we'll take a nice breath in, bring the arms all the way up, and breathe out as you come down. Okay. Breathe in as your arms come up, and breathe out as your arms come down. There we go. Really stretch up to the ceiling. Come up onto your toes now. So breathe in, come all the way up, and breathe out as your arms come down and round. There we go. Breathing in, coming up, and breathe out as you circle around. One more like this. Breathe in, really stretch, and breathe out, come down. Perfect. Let's take the legs a little bit wider apart. Move these out of the way. There we go. So take your legs a little bit wider apart. And we're going to just bend forwards from the hips, so you're driving your hips backwards, so we get a nice stretch through your hamstrings. So imagine you're kind of in karate chop through your hips, and stick your bottom back, keep your chest facing forward so that you don't come down into a curl down. So from the side, it's looking like this. We're literally keeping the back straight, so you get that nice stretch down through the back of your hamstrings there. Squeeze your bottom as you come back up. So we're not going to hang out too long. We're going to use it as a release technique rather than a pure stretch. So you're just going to gently bend down into it, stick your bottom back, get that stretch for your hamstrings. So you can see I'm keeping my chest high, so I'm trying not to curl down into it. But keeping your chest high, you get a really nice stretch through the back of the legs there, and then come back up. There we go. If you want to work with breathing, you're doing a nice breath out as you go down, and breathe in as you come back up again. There we go. Breathe out, stick your bottom back, and breathe in. There we go. One more. And that's it, and slowly come back up. So stay with your feet wider apart. We're going to bend one knee and come down to the side. See if you can come all the way down. If your knee's not great, you perhaps could do this one just sort of with a little knee bend, sort of working from side to side. So this is a nice release technique just to slowly work through. But if you want a deeper stretch and your knee lets you, see if you can come all the way down into the stretch. So knees down, hands just stabilize you onto the floor here, and the stretch is coming through the inner thigh here. Okay, we're just going to hold this position, keep breathing. It's often quite tight, the inner thighs, and it's a muscle that we don't always spend that much time working on. So just hold it there if you can. And then if you want, what you can do with this leg is you can rotate the foot. So you put your foot up towards the ceiling and then rotate it back down again. There we go, rotate through the heel, put your foot up towards the ceiling and rotate it back down again. It's just working through that inner thigh muscle there. That's it, perfect. Couple more of those. There you go, so obviously just be aware if there's any pain in your knees, come out of this, or pain anywhere really. There we go. When you're ready, we're slowly going to walk the hands over to the other side. So bring yourself up, slide yourself down to the other side. And again, just enjoy that stretch. I say enjoy, hopefully it's not too painful. Just remember, whenever we're doing the stretching, you're easing yourself gently down into these stretches, and it should be a nice, strong release, but not pain. Okay, so again, feeling it through the inner thigh there, if you can feel that. And then when you're ready, you can rotate the foot if you want to. It does increase the stretch, so if this is enough for you already, you don't need to do this bit. But if you want to, just rotate the foot up towards the ceiling, and rotate it back down again. There we go. Rotate out. Rotate down. Good, just a couple more of those. There we go. Okay, and what we'll do from here is we're going to spin round so that we are facing towards this, well, one foot. I'm going to put both hands on the inside, so they're both hands are on the inside of the foot, my legs on the outside, and then just lengthen that back leg back as far as you're comfortable to do. So we're opening up through the hip flexors here. Hopefully you can see that. That's it, good. Right, so what we're doing is working on lowering the pelvis down. So depending on how tight your hip flexors are, if they're really tight, your bottom might be right up like this. And just work. Take a nice breath in, and as you breathe out, just try and encourage your hips to drop down towards the mat if you can. So you're going to breathe in and breathe out. Just see if you can soften your hips down. Good. Breathe in, hold your position, and breathe out, see if you can sink down. Good, a couple of those. Now this leg that's up beside you, watch that it doesn't drop. So if I show you from the front, we're like this. As you drop deeper into the stretch, what happens is this knee starts to drift away. So make sure you keep your knee up close to your shoulder as you do this one. That's it, good. And then you'll slowly untangle yourself from that one, and we're going around to the other side. So one leg is forward, both hands. Now it's your choice with this one. Some people prefer it to put hands either side of your foot. I think my arms aren't long enough for that, so I put both hands on the inside, and then we're just going to lengthen that back leg back. Again, making sure my bent knee at the front is staying nice and close to my shoulder, and then just working with the breathing. So it's breathe in, hold your position, breathe out. See if the hips can just drop down into that stretch. Breathe in, hold your position, and breathe out. Just see if those hips will drop down. It might be like a millimeter, you may get a little bit more, but just get that sensation that your hips are dropping down towards the floor. Breathe in, hold, and breathe out. See if you can soften down. Fantastic. Breathe in, hold, and breathe out. Let it soften down. Good. And then just gently come out of that so you're onto all fours now. Just make sure you can all still see me. Yeah. Okay, so we're onto all fours here. Let's just do a few spine sort of cat-cow stretches just to loosen through the back before we take it a little bit deeper. So a nice deep breath in, push your spine up towards the ceiling, and breathe out as you sink down. Lift the hips, lift the chest. Breathe in, tuck under, lift your spine up towards the ceiling, and breathe out as you sink through. Keep working through that. There we go. There we go, a couple more. Nice deep breath in, tuck under, push up, really feel your shoulder blades stretching, and then sink through, lift your hips, lift your chest. Good, last one, breathe in, push all the way up, and then just sink through. Perfect, take your hands a little bit further forwards. Okay, so your arms are now out in front of you, and we're going to just lift, easy version, keep your feet down on the mat. A little bit more of a stretch is if you lift your ankles and your feet off of the mat. And we're just going to work with the hips again. You're going to draw your hips forward, drop them down towards the mat, and then just rotate back. Stick your bottom up towards the ceiling. Dropping the hips down, just easing through the hip movement. This is a little bit of back, little bit of hips, not working too hard, just asking the hips to rotate, starting to get the stretch into the hip flexors. There we go. And we're not hanging out in any of those positions. We're just slowly rotating through, dropping the hips down. Perfect. Lifting the bottom up. Good. Okay, pop your feet down, bring your hands back so that they are underneath your shoulders, and let's work through the spine and the shoulders a little bit more. So we're going to thread the needle. Take a nice breath in, lift your arm up towards the ceiling, look towards your fingertips, and as you breathe out, slide it down, goes through between your hand and your knees, all the way down, so you're dropping your shoulder down towards the mat, stretch all the way through. Breathe in as you sweep the arm all the way back up, lift towards the ceiling, and breathe out as you push your hand all the way through. So again, we're not hanging out for a long period of time in any of the positions. We're going to use it as a nice release and just keep working so that each time you work through, you're trying to get a little bit further each time. A little bit further towards the ceiling, a little bit further. Drop that shoulder right down towards the mat if you can. So as you push your arm through, you can feel your shoulder blades separating, get that stretch between your shoulders. Try and get your shoulder down as much as you can. There we go. Breathe in, lift up. Breathe out, push through. Let's do the last one on this side. Breathe in all the way up. And breathe out, push through. Fantastic. Let's go on to the other side. So nice breath in as you bring your arm up. Look up towards the ceiling. Breathe out, slide it through. Push. Shoulder comes down to the mat if you can. That's where you get the big stretch at the end. Breathe in, lift up. And breathe out, slide your arm through, drop your shoulder down if you can, keep your bottom high. That's it. Breathe in, lift up, and breathe out, push through. Okay, a couple more. Breathe in, rotate all the way through the spine. Breathe out, stretch through. That's it. So we're getting a nice rotation, stretch through as you're lifting up. And then it's coming all the way through the shoulder blades as you push through here. Let's do 2 more. Breathe in. Breathe out, push through. Last one, real big stretch if you can. Reach right up towards the ceiling and push through. Fantastic, good. If your knees will let you, sit back onto your heels. So you're going to come into this position. So you're coming into that sort of shell stretch. Stretch your hands out in front of you. Really reach forwards with your fingertips if you can. And from here, just breathe. But I want you to take a little bit deeper breath than you would normally. So you're drawing your breath right down to the bottom of your lungs. And slowly breathing out. So you're feeling the movement coming right through this section. So lower part of your ribs. Perfect, good. Do a couple of those deep breaths there. Good. Let your hands come a little bit closer in now. And what I want you to do is the same stretch, but we're going to take the knees really wide. So I'm opening the knees out wide here. That way I'm going to allow my chest and my abdomen to come deeper down into the stretch. Okay, so I'm getting the inner thighs as well as the low back here. And again, I can just stretch my hands out, or you can keep them a little bit softer and just work on dropping your hips down towards the mat from here. Perfect. Again, keep breathing. Some people find this quite a strong stretch, so don't forget to breathe. Fantastic. Okay, slowly bring your hands back. And while we're here, let's do our glutes in this position as well. So this is the one where we're going to cross the leg in front. If you can, take it across your body. Straighten that back leg back so you're sinking down. And we'll just let the arms come down onto the mat. So the stretch comes through your glutes here. And we're just going to see if we can increase the stretch just by leaning into it. So if I'm stretching, so my left leg's across my body, and I'm going to lean into my left butt cheek. And there I can feel that stretch in there. If it's really tight, you're going to feel it already in that neutral position, so you don't need to lean over. Only lean over if you feel you need to just get a deeper stretch. And this one, it can stretch all the way up through your hamstrings as well, so you might feel like the back of your thighs starting to stretch as well. Just the same as with any stretch, just take yourself to that point where you feel the tension is just stretching enough that it's comfortable still. Good. There we go. And we'll just give it a couple more seconds. And then you'll roll your hips back to that neutral position so you're in the center. Just bring yourself up, untangle the leg, and take the other one across. So slide it across in front of you so you can see you're trying to get sort of a 90 degrees. Depends how flexible your hips are. Some people's hips are going to still be, not anywhere near 90, but you'll still get the stretch. Take it round as much as you can and then lengthen that back leg back and drop yourself deep into that stretch if you can. So again, lean off. So I've got my right leg across and I'm going to lean into the right side, and that feels like a much stronger stretch than the other side. So, and that's quite common as well. You're going to find one side's a lot tighter than the other, and just lean into it so you get that deep stretch, but it's still comfortable. Good. Keep breathing as well. A little bit deeper than normal, just so that you're getting that release through the muscle. Lovely. And then when you're ready, you're going to roll back to the center and untuck that leg. And I'm going to get you just come all the way down onto your tummy. Hopefully you haven't just had a big dinner. And we're going to see if we can stretch through the quads here. So again, this one is a real strong one on the knees. So if your knee's not happy, just wait this one out for a second. So you're going to see if you can grab hold of one knee and draw it all the way in towards your bottom. So a nice stretch, pulling it in there. So we're feeling the stretch through the front of your quads. Don't lift your head up. I'm only lifting up so I can talk to you, but let your head rest down onto the mat and keep drawing your foot towards your bottom there. Now, if you don't feel like you're getting enough of a stretch and your knee and your back are happy, see if you can lift or use your hand to lift the foot or lift the knee away from the mat. Stretch, but it puts a little bit of pressure on the back. So if you feel back's a bit tight, obviously don't do that. Do that leg, pop the leg down, go on to the other side, grab hold, and draw it in towards your bottom. So just do that first. If you feel you want to increase the stretch, obviously just give it a go. See if you can lift the leg, lift the knee away from the mat if you can. It's not going to go far. You're not lifting it up high. If you can, you're like uber bendy. Good. And then if you really want to have a go, add a bit of a deeper stretch. See if you can grab hold of both feet. And from here, you push your ankles into your hands. So it lifts the chest. We get a lovely chest stretch and a lovely stretch through the quads as well. But again, as you can see, it puts quite a lot of pressure through your back. So just be careful with this one if your back's not great. Just hold it. Good. And slowly release out of that. Lower your chest down. Gently release your feet. There we go. Let's spin over onto your back. So. There we go. Lie onto your back, nice and comfortable with the arms nice and resting down onto the floor. Bring your knees and your feet together, and we're just going to rotate through the spine. So normal rotation movement that we do, just dropping the knees down to one side. Not thinking too much about working abs or hips or whatever. Just let gravity, let your knees drop down. Let your legs draw back up. Swing them over to the other side, drop them all the way down again. Slowly up. Drop them down. There we go. And just letting gravity take control of the knees as you drop them a bit further down towards the floor, each side. There we go. Couple more. Good. And then just rest the knees back in the center. Okay. What I'm going to get you to do is to lift one leg up towards the ceiling from here. And you're going to, from here, just let that leg drop out towards the side. Now you're in control with how far out it goes. So we're getting that stretch through the inner thigh. Just hang out for a few seconds where it's comfortable to go, and then circle the leg all the way around and bring the leg back up. I'm going to demonstrate on the other leg so you can see the whole exercise, but we're going to stick doing, say, 5 to one side, 5 to the other. So what you'll do is leg goes up towards the ceiling, drop it out towards the side, hold it for a few seconds there, just so we feel that stretch through the inner thigh. Then you'll circle the leg round and bring it all the way back up to the ceiling again. Okay, so again, it's a moving stretch, or it's a kind of like a dynamic stretch. So drop the leg out, take it to where you feel the stretch is happening through that inner thigh, and then circle the leg around and scoop it back up. We're getting a little bit hamstring stretch as we bring the leg up towards the ceiling as well. Drop it out. Good, feel that inner thigh stretch. Circle it round, draw it all the way back up again. There we go. So we'll do 2 more on this leg, then we'll go on to the other side. Drop it out, circle it round. Don't hang out too long, just take it to that stretch point. And then circle it round. And we'll swap the legs around, draw the other leg up towards the ceiling. Take it out towards the side, feel that stretch, just hold it there for a few seconds. And then circle the leg. So you're really lengthening your leg around. As you're scooping it around, really feel that lengthening of the leg. You're creating that stretch. There we go. And circle it around, really lengthen it up towards the ceiling as well. Trying to keep the knee nice and straight so you're getting that stretch through the hamstrings. Drop it out. That's it. Good. And circle it round. All the way back up again. Last one. Down and circle it round. Perfect. Bring both knees in towards your chest and just rock through your low back. So you bring your knees into your chest, just rocking it forwards and backwards. Lovely. And then we're going to go side to side. So just take yourself side to side as you work through your low back there. You can mix it up and draw some circles. So you're going all the way around. Really try and loosen up through that low back. And the other direction. Good. Slowly bring yourselves up to sitting. Okay. There you go, legs in a nice little soft V in front of you. Sit up nice and tall. We're going to again work down through, well, through low back, through the hamstrings. Twist yourself so you're facing down towards one leg. Going to fold forward from the hips so your chest comes down towards your knee, and walk your hand forwards towards your foot. And you're just holding this position here. You'll feel that tightness through the whole of the leg, depending on how tight it is. You might be up here, you might have your nose on your knee, but don't compare to what other people are doing. Just go where it feels comfortable for you. And again, we work with the breathing when we do this one. So breathe in, hold your position. And as you breathe out, let your chest soften down towards your knee, and see if your hands can just stretch a little bit further forward. Breathe in, hold your position, and breathe out. See if you can drop your chest down, stretch your hands forwards a little bit further. So we're going, working your hands down towards your foot a little bit further. Last one, breathe in, and breathe out. Let your hands reach a bit further. Hold that position. Try not to let your back release or come back up, and see if you can walk your hands across so you're transferring over to the other leg. There we go. Now obviously we've stretched a bit, so you may need to just bring your hands just back a tiny bit as we work down through this leg. Okay, so again, hold your position as you take your breath in, and then breathe out. See if you can drop down a little bit further, get your hands further down through that leg. Breathe in. And breathe out, reach down. Good. Breathe in, hold. And breathe out, really reach if you can. Last one, breathe in. Breathe out, walk your hands down as far as you can. And as you breathe in, just walk your hands back up so you're coming back up to sitting. Good. So we're going to stretch down through the front and come back up now. So I will demonstrate first. So we're going to do chin to chest. Roll yourself forwards as if you're putting your nose down in towards your tummy button. So we're allowing the back to just sort of curl a little bit. And then we're going to stretch as far forwards as you can. As you breathe in, you're going to curl back up. And breathe out. Slide your hands along the floor. Really stretch forward. Breathe in as you come back up. Good. Breathe out, stretch your arms forward. And breathe in, stack back up. Good. Breathe out. Working with the breathing, just see if you can get a little bit further each time. I'm on carpet, so I can see where my fingers have reached. I'm just going to see if I can get a little bit further each time. Really reach through, and just trying to avoid the temptation of my knees, especially that left one is wanting to lift up. I'm just got to try and avoid that temptation of that happening. And just focus the stretch down into the back. There we go. Good. Last one, breathe out. And breathe in. Perfect. Okay, from here, we're just going to do a little stretch through the forearms, another area that we quite often miss, but you know, if you're on computers and stuff like that, it's a good area to stretch. So take your arm out in front of you so your palm is up. With the other hand, you're going to take your wrist. So basically your arm's in this position. You're going to use your other hand just to pull the wrist back. Okay, just hold that. Watch the elbow doesn't bend, so we're keeping this elbow nice and straight. So you should feel a nice, sometimes it might be a little bit tender, especially if it's quite tight, but it should just be like a fascia, a connective tissue stretch, rather than a real muscle pull. Good. And then swap to the other side. So take the other arm out, drop the wrist right back. Use your other hand to just pull the wrist back. So you're getting that stretch all the way through the front of your arm. There we go, just hold it. This is a nice one you can do sitting at your desk if you get quite tight through the wrists, through the elbows. Perfect. Good, and then just relax off. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to take the arms forward. You're going to really push your fingers or your hands, so one hand behind the other, push your hands forward and allow your back to round. So your shoulder blades are sort of coming around your rib cage. Push. Okay. Now from here, keep pushing, twist towards the front foot, lean forward, keep pushing towards the hand. You're going to scoop all the way around, push, push, push. Come back up, so it's like we're stirring a big pot, but the whole way round you're keeping your shoulders round, you're keeping your arms pushed forwards. So we rotate through the spine, lean towards one foot, rotate round, come back up. Keep your shoulders pushed forward. So we're keeping a little roundness through the upper part of the back. So we're keeping that stretch. So each time we go down, we're allowing the stretch to happen a little bit more down through the back of the leg. This is a more of a fascia stretch. There we go. And then come back up. Let's do 3 rounds in the other direction. So reach towards the other foot this time. Bring yourself round towards the other leg and come back up. There we go. Stretch. Circle it round. Come back up. Fantastic. Last one. Reach as far as you can. Real big stretch. Good. Let your arms relax. Let's come onto your knees. Okay. Good. Hips, knees, shoulders, ears, everything is in line here. Switch on through your bottom muscles, so you're just clenching your glutes a little bit to push your hips forward. That way we're getting that, starting to get that stretching movement through the front of the thighs. Okay, so 2 options. We've done this one a few times. So you've got 2 options. The harder option, or the deeper stretch for your quads. You sit back onto your heels, hands go behind you, fingers pointing towards your heels, squeeze, lift through your bottom, lift up, stretch through your thighs there, or your hands through your quads. So you're lifting, feel that stretch and release. If that's a bit too much on your knees, we're coming up into this position. And we're just tucking through your glutes, push your hips forward and just feel that release through the knee. So your choice. I'm going to stick with the easier option today. If you're leaning back, lifting your bottom up, just keep going till it feels like it's released, or you need to take a little break. So if you're in this position here, keep tucking your hips under and just push the hips forward. And we'll just allow it to release. Good. And then we would swap onto the other side. So we do 90 degrees there. Tuck under with your hips, so you've got that scoop through the pelvis and feel the stretch through the front of the leg. Okay, or you're still lifting with your bottom, probably needing to stop quite soon though. Good. Perfect. Okay, so everybody's going to come back onto all fours, but we're going to tuck the toes underneath and we're going to come up into that down dog position. So we're just going to walk through the calf muscles. So really push your heel down towards the floor. Let's just hang out there. Really pushing that heel down. Feel the stretch. If you don't feel the stretch, bring your leg a little bit closer towards you. Good. And then onto the other leg. Just feel that stretch. Just aim to get that heel down towards the mat if you can. Good. One more on each side. Swap through onto the other calf. Really push your heel down towards the mat and see if we can get that stretch. And then the other side, push down. Good. Bring your feet into the center. Hands towards the center and just slowly bring yourself up to standing. Nice and gently, don't rush. Don't need head rush. It's warm enough as it is. There we go. And then again, let's just circle through the shoulders. Good. Sliding down to one side. So try and keep the hips relatively neutral to start off with. Just let the arms slide down and start to bend through the spine. And take yourself down as far as you can. When you've gone as far as that hand will reach, then you can allow the hips to travel and then come down further. And that just exaggerates the stretch through here. If you want to, you can bring the arm all the way up and over. That will just increase the stretch, but we do it in the right order. There we go. And then bring your arm back so it comes down towards your side. Scoop your hips back over and then gently bring the arm back up. Okay, other side, so drop the arm down. Go as far as you're comfortable to go with the side bending first. So we're making sure we're really focusing into the right muscle. Then you can allow the hips to come to the side and drop down a little bit further. And then the arm can come up and over when you're ready. Good. Good. And bring the arm back. Bring the hips across and then slide the arm back up. Fantastic. Good. Circle through your arms. Whew. And nice deep breath in, bring your arms up and breathe out as you come down. Good. Breathe in as you bring your arms up and breathe out as your arms come down. Just let your arms relax by your side now. We're going to take the arms up, breathing in And as you breathe out, we're going to come down and give yourself a bit of a hug. So squeeze your arms around, feel your shoulder, hands come around to your shoulder blades. Breathe in, come all the way up. Push through the legs. Bend the knees. Arms come around, give yourself a hug. Breathe in, stretch up. And breathe out as you come down. A little bit of movement through the back, but thinking about really tucking your arms around so you're grabbing hold of your shoulder blades. There we go. Breathe in, come up. And breathe out as you come down. Last one, breathe in. And breathe out. Give yourself a big hug. Perfect. Shake it all out. Shake your arms out. Shake your legs out. Well done, everybody. Hopefully you enjoyed that. And I'll give you a nice stretch out for your Friday evening. You can all go and have an ice bath now and cool off. Thanks, guys.